Two Truths, Part 2. Many voters probably felt they had no choice but to vote yes on Measure I. In light of the severe legal ramifications the city attorney said might occur if RENA allocations could not be made due to disapproval of Measure I. The voter guide contained no details about the physical suitability of the Lakeview Mariposa site, such as the serious safety and planning issues posed by the working oil and gas field that dominates the site. Similarly, there were no details about the existing densities, uses, or occupancies of adjacent sites, such as any mention of the fact that this site is surrounded by a wildland area and single-family 1- or 2-story estate homes on large lots. To make matters worse, even if voters had been well informed but objected to the ETCO site, voters were not given a line-item veto. Instead, Measure I lumped together all 14 sites in the shadow of the potential severe legal ramifications if the measure failed. So what did the city tell voters about the rationale behind Measure I? Resolutions reprinted in the voter guide stated that the City Council found Measure I necessary to permit and encourage the development of affordable housing opportunities in locations adjacent to supporting services and public transportation, provided they are compatible with and will not adversely impact the integrity and continuity of adjacent uses. Let's take a quick look at how the Lakeview apartments stack up to this rationale. A token 10 units out of 149 are proposed to be moderately affordable. Where are the adjacent supporting services? The site is near a residential neighborhood and wildland area. Where is the adjacent public transportation? There's not even been a local bus stop on Lakeview for years. How could the building of multiple skyscrapers possibly not have an adverse impact on the nearby quiet, low-density residential estate properties in wildland area? Project supporters insist voters be given what they voted for. As we've seen, a small majority of a small minority of voters did vote for increased maximum potential density and building heights on ETCO's site. However, they also voted for the second truth, which is that any actual development of the site is neither mandated nor unrestricted. Let's examine some city promises and representations that support the truth that development of Measure I properties is neither mandated nor unrestricted. The majority City Council promised in the sample ballot materials that votes for Measure I would prevent a losing, costly legal battle, protect single-family neighborhoods, and protect property rights by limiting multifamily development to only those sites compatible with existing single-family neighborhoods. Measure I would also reduce overcrowding, protect property values, and prevent huge amounts of high-density housing from being built. The community education presentation told voters the following.
It's important to note that no site is required to build any units. There is also no requirement for any site to build to the maximum units identified.
No homes are ever built on these sites. The city still has met its planning obligation and gets credit for the full number of units that have been included.
Even if the ballot measures pass, the city has its full authority to review every development request on these sites and require compliance with zoning standards, design review, environmental review, and full input from the community through the public hearing process. Zoning these sites for this density does not automatically allow anything to be built.
So what did voters think they approved? Many probably thought they were approving the general concept that housing of the scale pictured in this slide might be built somewhere on the east side of Lakeview near Mariposa. Voters also probably trusted and relied upon the city's promises that any such development would be carefully vetted to ensure it complies with all applicable laws and fits seamlessly into its surrounding neighborhood, while protecting existing property owners' rights and home values, and preventing overcrowding and overbuilding. Please keep in mind these two truths. Voters approving Measure I were few in number and ill-informed, and development of the Lakeview Mariposa site is neither mandated nor unrestricted.